Hi, welcome to this revision video looking at GCSE exam style questions for the foundation tier, but it may also be appropriate for the higher tier as well. Okay, as ever, feel free to obviously pause the video, try the questions yourselves, guys, and then press play when you're ready. And hopefully by doing this, by doing these sort of questions, guys, is getting you more and more accustomed to the exam style questions that you see on previous exam papers, okay, and past papers for AQA, Edexcel and OCR, okay. We're going to start with question A1. Expand and simplify this. Well, 4 times 4x, okay, and 4 times positive 4 is positive 8. 4 times 2x is 8x, and 4 times positive 3 is positive 12, okay. So this would probably be worth 2 marks on the exam paper. 1 mark for multiplying each bracket out separately, and then another mark for collecting your like terms. So 16x plus 8x is 24x, and 16 plus 12 is equal to 28. Okay, but again, if you wrote it as 28 plus 24x, that is also fine, guys. Okay, remember that maths can be written in different ways, okay, so different convention ways. It still means the same thing, okay. 28 plus 24x, okay. This is question A2, guys. Simplified 2 to the 5 times 2 to the 5. Well, I'm going to add the powers if it's the same base. 5 plus 5 is 10. So it's 2 to the power of 10. Okay, that's one of the laws of indices. If you're multiplying and you have the same base, you add. If you're dividing, you would subtract the powers. Okay, and if it was in like a bracket, then you would like multiply the powers. So if it was like 2 to the 5, all to the power of 5, then you would like multiply the powers, if that makes sense. So sorry if I've got a bit of sidetrack here, but these are like the rules of indices. Okay, so if it's like a bracket raised to a power, you multiply the powers. If it's the same base and you're multiplying, you add the powers. If you're dividing with the same base, you subtract the powers. Okay, the only bit to add to this is please watch out here if it says simplify or evaluate. If it says evaluate or work out, then it wants a numerical answer. It doesn't want it as a power. If it says simplify, then generally speaking, it will want it as a power. Okay, so watch out very, very, very carefully on the types of word or words that examiners will use, okay, for these sort of questions. If it says evaluate, then you obviously work it out. If it says simplify, then you leave it as a power. This is question number A3. Write 50% as a fraction. Well, that's 50 out of 100, okay, because the word percent or percentage means out of 100. So 50 out of 100 or 1/2 is also correct, okay. So that's looking at converting a percentage to a fraction. This is question number A4. Find the difference between 5 and 9. So the difference just means the biggest number take away the smallest number, okay. 9 take away 5 is 4. Okay. This is question number A5. If m equals 3, calculate 3 plus m. So it's substitution. 3 plus 3, guys. Okay. Haven't really drawn that 3 very well there. 3 plus the 3 is 6. Okay, so it's substituting into an expression. 3 plus m means 3 add m, or m add 3. Okay, again, 3 add m is the same as saying m add 3. Okay, I'll just put that on there as well. Okay, so subbing in m into here to get an answer or a value for your expression. This is question number B1. We are subtracting numbers. Okay, so again, make sure that everything's under the correct place value. That is super important when you are subtracting. Okay, again, these sort of questions, It's unlikely to appear on a paper, but it may appear on a foundation paper. But these sort of questions, it's more for Key Stage 2 SAT papers, Key Stage 1 SAT papers, and like the 11 plus and like the 13 plus like entrance exams. But they are still appropriate for GCSE level maths as well. 3 take away 5 I can't do, so I'm going to have to borrow. That becomes a 1. That becomes a 1 as well. 13 take away 5 is 8. 1 take away 6 I can't do, so I have to borrow. That becomes a 6 there. That becomes a 1. 11 take away 6 is 5. 6 take away nothing is 6. And 6 take away 1 is 5. So the answer is 5,658. Okay. This is question number B2, solving an inequality. If I add x to both sides and I add 3 to both sides, okay, I'm going to have 4x plus x is 5x. So 5x is greater than or equal to 35, because adding 3 to both sides, okay, that becomes a 0 there, and then on this side it becomes 35. 32 and 3 is 35. Dividing both sides by 5, because 5x means 5 times x, we get that x is greater than or equal to 7. Okay, so this is called solving inequalities. Okay, and again, these sort of questions could appear on either a foundation or even a higher tier topic. Okay, so this is looking at solving inequalities. The only other part for this is it might say what is the smallest possible integer that satisfies this inequality. You'd say the answer is 7, because it can take the value of 7. Okay, it might ask you to plot this on a number line, so if you're interested, or like a little visual, so 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to have like a shaded in circle because it's got the equal sign. Okay, so it's been like a hollow, a coloured in circle there. Okay, and it's going in this direction. Okay, so that is my inequality on a number line. Okay, so it takes the values 7, 8, 9, 10, etc., etc. This is question number B3. Write 10 2/3 as an improper fraction. So the way to do this is I keep the denominator the same, 3 there, okay, and the numerator is worked out by doing 3 times 10, which is 30, plus the 2 is 32. So we get 32 thirds, okay? And that's what I call an improper fraction or a top-heavy fraction, where the numerator is explicitly bigger than the denominator, okay? So it's strictly bigger than the denominator. So I get an answer that is bigger than 1. If it's a proper fraction, that's like something like 1/2 or 2/3, where the numerator is strictly less than the denominator, okay? They're called proper fractions. This is question number B4. If 9x equals 323, then 9x plus 10. Well, if I add 10 to this side, I'm going to add 10 to this side. So I'm going to have 3, 3, 3. Okay. I'm not working out the value of x here. I've just been given this equation and I'm asked to work out the missing part. Okay. If I add 10 to the left-hand side, then I've got to add 10 to the right-hand side. Adding 10 to 323, I get the answer of 333. So 9x plus 10 has to equal 333 if 9x equals 323. But if you're interested and you want to work out what the solution is, you do 323 divided by 9 to work out the value of x, okay, if you're interested in solving the equation, and then you can always sub that in there into here to work out the value of your expression, okay. But this first way of doing it, I think, is much easier, okay. This is B5, so it's simplifying ratios, okay. The highest common factor of all 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then 6 divided by 3 again is 2. Now that's the ratio written in its simplest form. Okay, I can't go any further because there are no common factors between 5 and 2. Okay, so I can't simplify that any further. I've divided all three ratio parts by 3. Okay. Okay, so it's looking at simplifying ratios here. Okay, and again, that is a foundation tier topic. Okay, C1 now convert 99 milliliters to liters. Well, I'm going to times by 1,000. So times by 1,000 means adding. Oh no, sorry guys, I apologize. Dividing it by 1,000. Sorry. So 9.9, 0.99, I mean it's 0.099, okay, because if I multiply that by 1,000, then I get 99, okay, 1, 2, 3, okay, which is right, yes. Right guys, this is question number C2. 1.9 squared equals 3.61. Work out 0.9 squared. Well, if I look here, okay, I've actually divided the number by 10. Now, because I'm actually squaring it, I've got to be very, very careful here. I've got to actually divide by 10 squared here because I'm squaring the answer, okay? So I'm going to be dividing the answer essentially by 10 squared. So I'm dividing by 100, okay? 10 squared means 10 times 10, which is 100. So dividing by 10 squared, okay, so dividing by 100, I get the answer of 0.0361. Okay? And that's my answer for that question, okay? So it is looking at place values, but it's recognizing that if I divide a place value by 10 and I'm squaring it, then I've got to essentially divide it by this like scale factor, like squared essentially, okay? Because it's squared here. Okay, for that answer. This is question number C3, so we're looking at standard form here. I do 1.2 times 3, which is 3.6. 10 to the negative 13 times 10 to the 7. When I'm going to add the powers, minus 13 add minus 7. Being careful here is actually negative 13 subtract 7, which is negative 20. And my answer is in standard form because it's a number between 1 and 10 times 10 to the power of something. So watch out, guys. A question might say to you, give your answer in standard form, okay? Or it might say to you, why is this number not in standard form? Is because the number is not generally, speaking between 1 and 10, okay? It also could be that if it's not a integer power here, okay, if that makes sense, okay, for our level, okay. This is question number C4, expanding double brackets, expand and simplify. Again, this is something that will probably appear on the end of a foundation tier paper or the start of a higher tier paper. Okay, so double brackets. Minus 3x times 2x is minus 6x squared. So being very careful with the signs, guys. Okay, a negative times a positive is a negative. That's going to become 30x because negative 3x times negative 10 becomes a positive. So positive 30x, subtract 6x, okay, and then plus 30. Negative 3 times negative 10 is positive 30. So just to be very clear, guys, so the minus 6x has just come from negative 3 times 2x. A negative times a positive is a negative. Minus 3 times 2 is minus 6, and then keeping the x there. So simplifying this, guys, collecting like terms, I'm going to have minus 6x squared, okay, plus 24x, so I crossed that off in the colour purple, so plus 24x, okay, plus the 30. Okay. So that's expanding and simplifying double bracket. So this ends up giving us like a negative quadratic. But again, okay, it's expanding and simplifying. Okay, so 1 mark generally speaking for expanding the bracket, and then 1 mark by simplifying, i.e. collecting your like terms together. So collecting your x terms together, okay, or your y terms together, or your number terms together, or your x squared terms together. Okay, I can't ever combine an x squared and an x term, guys. Okay, I can't ever combine that. Okay, this is question number C5. Write 36 to the minus 10 to the power of 12 as a power of 6. So being careful here, guys. So that, if I work it out using the power law, okay, is 36 to the minus 120, okay, because negative 10 times 12 is negative 120. Now we need to recognize that 36 is actually 6 squared. So it's 6 squared to the power of negative 120. Okay, when I simplify this, I get 6 to the power of negative 240, because 2 times 120, sorry, 2 times minus 120 is minus 240. Okay, recognizing that 36 is equal to 6 squared, okay, or 6 to the power of 2. 6 to the power of 2, if you're interested, just means it's 6 times 6, guys, okay, as a power. Okay, so that is my answer there. Right, guys, that is the end of today's revision video. So I hope you found it useful for the foundation tier, okay, GCSE level, okay, maths. Okay, we're looking at roughly grade 4-5 level maths here, okay, with some grade 3s and some even grade 4-6 as well. Okay, but hopefully it makes sense. Any questions, any queries, as ever, put it in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel if you're new. Hit that like button, okay, and click that bell icon to turn on post notification so you guys don't miss out on further videos and further uploads. Okay, but that's it for me today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.